Okay, our first speaker tonight, I don't really think he needs any introduction. I mean, the people who were at the last meeting, I mean, Andrew's just been a great guy for this town. He's so passionate about what he does. And I think, without further ado, Andrew, the show is yours.
All right, thank you. I get the privilege of being the opening act for Frank, but I can't juggle and I can't sing, so all I can talk about is city building initiatives or town building initiatives. So many of you saw the exciting news in Beach Booster. I think it should be landing in your driveways or your mailboxes fairly soon.
Mailboxes.
Mailboxes, sorry, not driveways. But giving some feedback. And I'm going to have to stand over here because I need to advance the slides from over here. Thought it might be worthwhile just to take a couple minutes. I'll do this pretty quickly just to give you some of the highlights of what the new Community Hub is all about, some of the key ingredients of it, take a few questions, and then we'll quickly pass the baton to Frank. And both myself and Frank will tag team a bit of a discussion with all of you, talking about redevelopment of the beachfront. So, I'm not going to get into population stats, but we're growing very quickly. All of you know that. We're projecting to double in size in the next 30 years. That's tremendous growth for a small community. The important thing to realize here, and that image is of the Elm development just on the way into town. The type of development that we're attracting is very popular with families. And if you look at all the different types of housing forms that can be built, singles, semis, towns, condos, triplexes, etc., single-family homes are the types of houses that generate the highest percentage of children. That is why our schools are exploding in Wasaga Beach. We have been telling both school boards, ever since I previously worked here from 2014, please, you're not paying attention to the trends. We need new schools here. We need them desperately. Now it's catching up to both school boards, and both school boards are scrambling to build new schools. We are one of the few communities in the province that has to bus out our elementary kids, which is a horrible situation. No elementary kid should have to ride a school bus. So the good news is both school boards now see what we've been telling them for years, and they're moving on it, and they're advancing some new schools within the community. One of the things that we're trying to do is obviously build a complete community. And what that means is for all age groups, from young toddlers to seniors and everyone in between, so that you have all the things that you need to undertake your daily activities, your daily needs within our community. And that includes schools, very important. Wasaga Beach has unfortunately, is the largest community in Ontario without a high school. We have started to look across the country. I'm pretty confident that we will be one of the largest in Canada that doesn't have a high school. That's something that we want to change very quickly. Our children are forced to leave our community. We bus out every school day over 1,000 children out of our community. That's a high school right there that's leaving our community and going elsewhere to go to school. That has a lot of negative impacts on our children. They spend upwards of 177 hours every year riding a school bus. That's almost an hour each direction. They miss out on a lot of extracurricular activities because of that, and they feel like outsiders. Many of you have heard stories about our children when they're at Stainer or Collingwood. They're called the beach kids. And it's a bit of a derogatory term. They're not treated as equal, they're different. School should be about a sense of belonging and really encouraging our kids to thrive and excel in extracurricular activities. And that's why it's so important that we get a high school within our community, not just for the children, but for the community itself, because it creates a sense of belonging, a sense of pride for a community. Community hubs are something that has been very high on the radar with the provincial government for almost a decade now. And the reason for that is They make efficient use of land, where you're combining a lot of different uses together. You actively seek to bring multiple uses. What we are talking about today is a K-12 school, a library, an arena, a daycare, a theater, etc. When you combine all these things together, it becomes much cheaper to deliver all of those uses instead of building one-offs around your community. And I'll explain that in a couple minutes. And in the off hours, when it's not being used by children, our community benefits from all of this. So a lot of great reasons why community hubs are being encouraged by the province. The image on the right is the site plan. I'll walk you through that in detail in a minute. But the image on the left is what I wanted to talk about just quickly. All of you, I think, are familiar with where the Twin Paddle Arena Library is located. So what we're talking about doing is building this facility right beside it. It's strategically a very important location. I wish we could have pulled it a little closer to the bridge, but it's not bad. It's still pretty good. That little red dot is where the facility, the community hub, will be located. We took a look at Collingwood, and if you look at Collingwood Collegiate Institute and its relationship with the main street of Collingwood, it's a 10-minute walk. The location of the TPAL and this new community hub is a 10-minute walk from our future main street, or our recreated main street. That's very important for our kids. Before school, during lunch, after school, they can walk to the main street, they can buy their lunch there, they can get a job, they can be part of the community. The economic spin-offs that come with that are actually quite tremendous. In addition, on the way out of town, where Elm is being built, there's almost 4,000 housing units, either under construction or planned to be built in the coming years. So that in itself will create the need for further elementary and high schools, but they're also within a 10-minute walk of that location. A lot of the schools that are built in Simcoe County are what I call drive-to schools. They're built in the middle of a farmer's field, and you either ride the bus or your parents drop you off. This, kids can walk to school, they can ride their bike, they can take transit, they can take the bus, they can get dropped off. So they've got choices. My hope is that many will choose to walk or ride their bikes, like most of us did when we were growing up. That contributes to healthy children, healthy communities. On the other side, we have a tremendous amount of redevelopment, the beachfront included, but also intensification within our downtown that will help support this school. So we think this is a wonderful location and the right location to invest in a facility like this. The current TPAL, we were in it a couple days ago. It's looking tremendous. It's a beautiful facility. We're looking forward to all of you getting in it in the next few weeks. It's almost completed. As you know, it's situated on 15 acres, 2 NHL-sized arenas that can be flexible for events, tournaments. One of the things we're looking at is putting on special events, concerts throughout the year, so we can help build a year-round tourism economy for Wasaga Beach. The main arena in the TPAL is going to be a tremendous facility for concerts. It's a very intimate scale. 1,800 to 2,000 people can come there and view top quality acts from across Canada. And that's what we were known for historically. Rick Syke knows this from the Dardanella days, where this was an intimate venue to see top quality Canadian talent. We want to recreate that, and this is a tremendous venue to do that. We've got outdoor basketball courts, indoor running track, fitness, 24,000 square foot, state-of-the-art library with a whole bunch of uses in there, convention facilities, etc. A while back, actually it was in early summer, we reached out to both school boards and we said, we're building this amazing facility, it's going to be open fairly soon. Can we tour you around it, show you what we've got there, and let's talk about whether you'd be interested in building a community hub with a high school adjacent to it. When the board, the Catholic board specifically, who took us up on the offer, saw what we were building, they were blown away, and they said, you guys are building a state-of-the-art, world-class library here. Why would we build another one? Let's just work together and take advantage of what you've already invested in here. what the partnership looks like. And you're going to hear partnership from me quite a bit, not only tonight, but for the remainder of my time that I work in for Wasaga Beach. Partnerships are the key, leveraging other people's money to deliver world-class amenities for all of us. What we wanted to do is see who was interested in creating a partnership. And I will share with you that we have met with the Ministry of Education multiple times. We've walked them through the ingredients of this partnership, and they are thrilled. We met with them back in January, last January, and the ministry said to us, we're not looking for same old schools. We're looking for innovation, partnerships, creativity. And they actually said to us the kind of things that they were looking for. We went out and got everything they told us to do. We met with them again in August, and we walked them through the partnership. They were blown away. And we also showed up with the Catholic Board to a meeting with the ministry. They said that's never happened before. They loved it because it said that we're truly locking arms with the school board to deliver this. So at a high level, what we're looking at doing is sharing the library with the new high school, the K-12 school, sharing parking, which actually will work well. The peaks are different. When the school is busy, the arena library isn't quite as busy. When the arena library is busy, the kids have gone home, so you can actually share parking. So you don't have to build as much parking, which saves you money. Performance Art Theater, I'm going to come back to that one in a couple minutes. But all of the recreational amenities that are in there, the kids can take advantage of and use. The Catholic School Board has put in for a K-12 school. They were planning on building an elementary school out in Elm because their current school is operating at 140% capacity. They had money in their budget to do that. They saw the opportunity of what we were talking about, so they put forward the K-12. The idea here is that this will transition over time into a full high school, and then they will proceed to build the elementary school in Elm at a future date. But so it's designed as a flexible school, and I'll explain what that means. Lakehead University. One of the things the province said to us is look for post-secondary opportunities for partnership. We reached out to Lakehead and they jumped at the opportunity. They are thrilled to be part of the Wasaga Beach community. What they are looking at doing is bringing classes and education in tourism, hospitality, environmental sustainability, which fits in perfectly with our community. Hospitality, we can train people that will then work in the casino. We can train the people that work in the hotels and the restaurants, which we desperately need in our community today. And then wider skills for upgrading leadership, etc., and in general humanities. Canadore College, we are very excited about, and I should say we have MOUs with all of these people. They are looking at doing skill trades training. This is something that you probably have heard the province talk about, and the importance. We have a labor shortage today across the province. They want to build houses, but they can't get the workers. So Canadore will be training people in framing, plumbing, welding, healthcare, childcare, which will help provide the folks that we need, the employees that we need in our community. Simcoe County, the Simcoe County itself has endorsed this school, this community hub, and they've provided a letter of support for bringing a childcare to our community, which again is desperately needed in Wasaga Beach, so we're thrilled with that. And Farsight Homes, who is the landowner to the east of the community hub, has been a tremendous partner for us. From day one, they said to us, this is not an issue, we're going to work with you, just tell us what you need. So they will be selling 6 acres of land for the school. They're going to donate the remainder of the land to the town. All of the sports facilities, the running track, etc., they're going to donate that to us for the school children to use, but then our community can use it after hours. So that is the site plan of the school, the general configuration of the school, bus drop-off along River Road, and then you can see the amenities in the back, the running track, football field, etc. It is a primary and a secondary school. They are physically divided, but it is flexible so that it can transition to a full-on high school in a very short period of time. I won't go into the detail of the floor plates, but on the right, that is the childcare facility. There's 3 gymnasiums, there's vocational classes. This is what I wanted to spend a couple minutes on, because I know there are a few individuals in the room who are quite interested in arts and culture. The southwest corner of the building is actually a cultural center. So it will have a theater, a 300-seat theater, and the image in the middle, for those of you who are familiar with Mississauga, the Living Arts Center, we've modeled it after the Royal Bank Theater, which is a 300-seat theater in the Royal Bank, in the Living Arts Center. Wonderful facility, acoustics are amazing. We're looking at proper professional seating, proper professional sound system. Adjacent to that will be a vocal room, visual arts room, dance facility, so that after hours, when the school is closed, the community will have access to this as a full cultural center. So when you think about leveraging opportunities, if we were to build a standalone cultural center, it would probably cost $15 to $20 million, which we just don't have today. Here, the town will partner, and for the cost of an upgraded sound system and a few seats, we get a full-on cultural center. So that is a tremendous asset to our community and a very smart use of leveraging capital dollars. Second floor, again, there are a number of vocational classes. The one that I wanted to highlight is the top middle, the little blue area. That's a full-on commercial restaurant kitchen training facility so that we can train chefs of tomorrow. The community can go and take cooking classes, etc. So this is an exciting building. The elements of it are quite exciting as well. We've heard a lot of questions about, well, it's Catholic. Why did you partner with the Catholic board? The simple answer to that is we reached out, we asked for a partner, they jumped at the opportunity, we got a dance partner, now we're going to dance. Catholic high schools are open access. You do not need to be Catholic to go to this high school. Anyone can go to it. I will share my bias. I am not Catholic. My wife is. My kids go to Catholic school. Tremendous quality of education that they are receiving. The public board has also put forward a high school fairly recently. So both boards are recognizing the need for a high school in our community. So that is a good thing. But we are excited about this opportunity, a great partner to have. Timing for this, as part of the submission, you actually have to submit your timeline. Doors open 2027 on the school is what we've put forward. So what that requires, April, we fingers crossed, knock on wood, everything we can possibly do to influence the province. We're looking for a funding announcement in April. Assuming we get that, we will move very quickly. Shovels will be in the ground next year. So before the end of the year, you will see activity on the site. It's a 2-year build, and then students will be in there in the fall of 2027. So we're going to be doing everything possible. I know this is near and dear to the mayor's heart and all of council's heart to push this. We want to be respectful with the province, but we have some great relationships at the province right now. Our MPP is helping us. We've got some direct connections to the Ministry of Education. So we're going to push really hard, and we're excited to bring this to our community. I'll stop there and happy to answer any questions. Or, yes?
Andrew, what can we do, what can we, the people, do to help that, if anything?
We will let you know. Again, we want to be careful. We don't want to do anything that's going to offend the province, so we want to be careful about putting full court presses with petitions and all that kind of thing, because we don't want to embarrass the province. We want to be cooperative with them. But I think hearing the collective voice from the community is important. But so we will reach out and let you know how we can work together to help influence and let everyone know that this is important to everybody. Yes?
I have a question, and it refers to, it's a little off topic, but refers to one of your other slides there where it shows the corridor from the beachfront down and you show all the units.
Yep.
Just if you could clarify, or maybe this will lead in for Frank, I'm not sure. It says 2,000 units at the beachfront?
Yes.
Oh.
Let me clarify. So when I put this slide together, that, just so everyone knows, that was the number that Zancor Baycliff was proposing to build at the beachfront. I included that, I guess I did title that beachfront. I used the number that we were seeing from that proposal. I do not believe we're going to be that high, and I'll let Frank, and Frank is shaking his head too. So we're not going to be 2,000 units. For the purpose of talking with the Ministry of Education, it didn't hurt to show that number, to show them that we're growing. But rest assured, we hear you loud and clear. Yes?
Yes, if you're familiar with Mississauga, you go up Erin Mills Parkway, you come to Gonzaga Secondary School. It's tied into a huge, beautiful library. It's got a community pool, doesn't have a rink. It's been there for years, and it's used by all segments of the community, kids and adults as well. It works superbly.
I couldn't agree more. So for those at the back that didn't hear that, he was mentioning Gonzaga Community Hub in Mississauga. I am very familiar with that. I worked for the city of Mississauga for 13 years. So Mississauga does community hubs exceptionally well, probably one of the leaders in the province. This is very much the kind of facility that Mississauga builds. This may sound negative, but the one thing that Mississauga does well is leverage federal and provincial dollars. If we could roll back the clock, the one thing I would change here is I would have positioned all of this, including the arena library, as a community hub, and that's what we were doing back in 2014. We were working with the Wynne government, and we were pitching this complex. We were on the list. I am very confident that this community would have got 1/3, 1/3, 1/3, because that's what they were telling us. So that was the one mistake we made. The facility is beautiful, no question. You're gonna love it, but if we could go back in time, that 1/3, 1/3, 1/3 would have been smart. That's how Mississauga pays for their community hubs. And I'll stop there. Oh, last question, then I'm gonna open the floor to Frank so we can make sure we get enough time for the beach run. Yes?
My question is how environmentally friendly this is going to be?
How environmentally friendly will the school be? To be determined. Obviously, we will work with the school board and ensure that it's best practices. Again, even if you just follow the current building code, modern buildings are so much more energy efficient and environmentally sustainable than they were 20 years ago. So, but we will certainly push to try and get this as high as possible in terms of LEED certification, et cetera.
I have a question.
Yeah, you want to ask?
Okay, guys. You talked about concerts going on or stuff going on at the arena. How are you working the temporary seats? Is there a plan for how many temporary seats you have so that you can maximize and make up for the fact that it wasn't planned that way?
Yeah, so in the main arena, which again you'll be seeing shortly, there are 800 permanent seats in the bleachers, and then we will have temporary seats that we will bring out for performances to get us up to the 1,500 to 2,000, depending where you put the stage. So those are just going to be temporary seats that the municipality purchases and keeps in a storage locker. So pretty typical stuff. Okay?
Oh, Andrew, I have a question.
Yes.
This is fantastic. You haven't talked about funding from the town's perspective.
Just so everyone at the back can hear.
Yeah, come on over. You won't bite.
Thank you, Andrew. You haven't talked about any of the funding from the taxpayer to support this new high school and theater and everything else, and purchasing additional property. On top of the debt that the town is carrying now, how much more debt do we as taxpayers are going to be carrying?
And the reason I didn't talk about that is because we're leveraging partnerships. So the school, the core of the school, it would be paid for by the Ministry of Education. That's what they do. They fund the capital build of a school. So no municipal dollars would go into any of that. That is entirely funded by the province. The land that the school will sit on, the school board currently has funding in their educational development charges to pay for 6 acres of land, because that's what an elementary school is. So they will be buying that land, not the municipality. The remainder of the land, all of the sports facilities that I mentioned, we will be getting from the landowner as a contribution. The town will not be buying that. It's a parkland contribution. So that entire facility comes at $0 for the taxpayers. Now I will add, the one element that the town will partner on is the cultural center, and the school will build the physical room itself, so the town would kick in a sound system and some seats. So that is a minimal cost, and we're going to explore ways to actually leverage some sponsorship dollars, and hopefully we can get some folks to actually pay for that, so that if there's zero impact to the taxpayer. So that's how community hubs are done these days. They should not be on the backs of the taxpayer.